This is Victor Uniform 2 Alpha Zulu Kilo. Name is Kishore. So if you are into portable operations in amateur radio or operate for field days, and if you require a reliable lithium battery, then this video is for you. So in these series of videos, I will show you how to create your own battery pack, what kind of components you would require, and how to also use the battery pack for your shack, and what additional things you can add on to make the maintenance and monitoring of your battery system easier. So in this first video, we'll talk about the components that are required and a little bit about operating with solar power as well. So the most critical part of your battery system are the cells. So these are 3.2 volt 100 ampere hour lithium iron phosphate batteries. Now there are multiple lithium chemistries that are available in the market. You can choose any of them. This one I have chosen because this is one of the more safer lithium chemistries from a fire hazard perspective. So there is not much danger of a thermal runaway with the lithium iron phosphate chemistry, and also it is easily available here in my local area. So here I'm using 100 Ah batteries because I want to operate HF with at least 80 watts of power. I own a few HF transceivers that are all capable of 100 watts, so I'd like to utilize these transceivers to the fullest extent. But if you are into QRP operations, you could choose a smaller capacity. You could choose 50 ampere hours or 20 ampere hours or even lower if you want to go a QRP. I have nothing against QRP operators. It is just that individual styles vary, and I prefer to operate at a higher power. So in my case, this 100 Ah batteries would allow me freedom from carrying that solar panel on most trips. Otherwise, I have to carry that solar panel whenever I take a lead acid battery of a smaller ampere hour, like 60 ampere hours, and it needs to get continuously charged by that solar panel. More about that solar panel a little later. So these batteries would go into this transparent acrylic box, and this is the lid for that box, and you can see the positive and negative terminal there. So I've deliberately chosen a transparent battery box so that the internal components would be visible to whoever is interested in looking at the battery pack, and whoever is interested in making it for themselves. Now let's look at some of the components you would require. The most important component is the BMS, or battery management system. So this BMS here is capable of handling 8 of these batteries. It'll still work for 4 of them, but I just picked this one up so that I can extend the battery to 8 cells at some later stage for use in the shack as well. In my case, my portable operations would be once or twice in a month, and the rest of the time the battery would be lying idle. So I intend to use this battery as a secondary power source, or maybe a primary power source for my HF transceivers constantly. So that's the reason why I've selected some of these components here as well. So these are glass fuse holders. Each one is capable of taking a 60 amp or an 80 amp fuse, some lugs, different kinds of lugs for different areas of the connectors. These are 2 heavy-duty binding posts that would go on the lid of the battery pack. And this is another connector with multiple USB-C and USB-B ports. Here I intend to connect my Raspberry Pi, which would be connected to the USB-C, and also the monitor that goes with the Raspberry Pi would be powered from one of these connectors. Kapton tape for high temperature protection, and this is a DC circuit breaker, some connectors for the DC circuit breaker, and the controls. These are AWG4 cables that are capable of carrying about 100 to 120 amps. I don't intend to go that high, but I just picked it up so that there's some factor of safety. Anderson connectors, and that's pretty much it for the components. And when I use this entire battery pack for my shack in a static mode, I will be connecting this battery pack monitor. So this monitor interfaces with the BMS and it gives you a bunch of information on the charge, state of charge, the level of the voltage, and what kind of current is being drawn, and it will also tell me how much active balancing is going on, turn on and off active balancing for the cells, etc. So typically on all my trips I carry this solar panel. This is a flexible solar panel which is very thin, weighs about 2 kilos, 2.25 kilos or so, and is capable of generating 125 watts. This one is a PWM charger capable of handling 20 amps of power. Now this PWM charger is preferable for my HF operations because it generates very little noise or no noise at all on HF bands for amateur radio. Now if you were to go for MPPT charger, then you would have a lot of noise across the HF band. Now this is my 6.3 kilowatt solar rooftop. This is connected to my MPPT charger, and it does generate a lot of noise on HF. So I want to avoid that and still go for another PWM charger, but probably a better quality one than this one. This is a very cheap charger, works very well for lead acid batteries, and I've used it quite well on multiple trips. But for lithium iron phosphate charging profile, I have my doubts on whether it can really support it or not. So these are a few things that you would require for building your lithium iron phosphate battery pack. And sorry about the wind noise. It is monsoon season here in India, and a lot of heavy breeze and rain throughout the day. So thanks for watching, and subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you're notified of any additions or newer videos that I publish on making this battery.